Hi, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching, and I am doing the trade review for Tuesday, October 8th, 2013. This is for educational purposes only. Nothing in my blog, my Twitter feed, or in this video should be considered a trading recommendation. So let's jump into it, man. Today was it was epic, man. I feel like a surfer dude. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, it was just an awesome day. So if we look at the basics, which is where I like to start, we had a very simple concept, the white zone. Buyers were in control above, sellers below. Now, as it turns out, when we opened, we really couldn't figure out, and neither could the market, figure out exactly who it is they wanted to have control. It was really just this tug of war that was going on. And outside of trying to scalp this back and forth, if you could do it, that's great. There wasn't a lot to do in here. You know, this was garbage for the first hour. Really frustrating a lot of people. And in my mind, what's been going on is we've been having this war of hopeful people thinking we're going to finish this thing up in Washington quickly, and people who are selling. And they're selling because essentially it looks like the president and Congress have decided to totally screw our economy. And so in that process, as people are waking up to the fact that yes, these people actually appear to be this stupid on both sides of the aisle, they have begun to sell. And so right here, the sellers won. That was it. So there were several ways to enter this trade, and if you go look at my Twitter feed, you'll see that I kind of dissected this into detail. And when I'm coaching somebody, I do go into how can we fine-tune these entries? How can we get them just right? But the major point was outside of this one little area where it looked like the buyers try to gain control, we opened up just below the top end of the white zone, and we really never got any lift. So once we broke below this white zone, you had to realize that what this essentially was creating a huge amount of pressure. Picture a pressure cooker, right? And this is the crack in the wall. This is the dam opening up. And so you don't want to take, when you have a setup like this, at any time of the day, where it explodes out of here, you don't want to take the zone immediately below. Now, 2 zones back, like right here, yes, you had a very nice rotation for 2 points. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, we've been looking for the rotations for 2 points for a long, long time. The problem is that we haven't had a two-way market, and so we've had to adjust the strategy. Not the zones, okay? The zones, the core of what we're doing remains the same. However, the rotation at each level has not been there as frequently as we have wanted it to be, and not as frequently as it normally is over the past years, and that happens on occasion. What is going on here is that news is overriding technicals in an overbearing way in both directions, and so the way that you combat that is you wait till the market gets nice and stretched, and then you take your rotation points. So from the top here, right, you have 1671. We've rotated all the way down to 1658, 1660 level. You get a nice rotation the first time into the zone. Again, if you look again, once we break this zone, we come down again. Nice and stretched. First time into the 1654.50, 1652.50, you get actually more than 2 points. You get a 4-point rotation. That is the very basis of the zones. The whole point is that under normal market circumstances, we're going to get nice rotations out of these zones. And then if you look right here, look, we broke the zone, we came back up in the zone above, perfect location for a short entry to the downside. Again, we rotated the first time, broke the second time, the first time down into this zone, okay, good rotation up for 2 points. We came into the zone above, we got rejection, 2 points lower, okay? So that is the simplest methodology for using the zones, okay? You want good rotations, okay? That means more than 4 points at least. 8 or 10 is better, but more than 4 points at least, okay? You want the first time it touches the zone. You want a reasonable stop behind the zone, and you really want to focus on the first time in. Now, if you want to get more aggressive with the zones, then you have to go, if you look in the morning, you'll see that I posted some videos through the course of the day, towards the end of the day. Excuse me, I didn't post them in the morning, but I posted them late in the day. Videos that I do for my clients during the day, kind of, we go through and we set up, well, how can we dissect this thing and really improve our entries and get pinpoint perfection, okay? And that's exactly how and tools that we use to do that. Tick divergence, 1 minute tick divergence, okay, is one thing. One thing that I mentioned in the video that's on the blog below here, it's located directly below this video that you're watching now, is that we were keying in on large rotations, tick divergence, right? We were looking at the possibility of a trend day down, right? And that sellers would be in control if we were below the white zone. So the first thing is, if you're only looking to the short side below the white zone, look how beautifully that sets you up. Short the first zone when it came up and touched. Broke this zone, first zone, touch back up into the zone, short again. End of the day, right in here, and I tweeted this out. I was so slammed today that I couldn't get many trades out over Twitter that I was taking, but I did tweet this, and I put at 1657 short on 1 minute tick divergence. It's time stamped right there in the on the stream. If you look on StockTwits, actually leave the time that it was tweeted out there, and I put in there I wasn't covering it. I was looking to cover at the end of the day. Okay, so I can't give a better example of a perfect setup than that at the end of the day. And eventually, if you actually held on to that trade, I covered 1649, and we actually traded right to the back of this open gap strong support area. Okay, so what this chart does is it sets up the battlefield, right? It lets us know who's in control, right? And then the white zone works like kryptonite. On most days, we're not going to have straight down days. And I know that the further I get away from the white zone, the less influence it'll generally have upon my trades, okay? So that's what's going on. I consider this pretty strong support down here. And now we're going to see how things get affected. So here's the deal. As soon as this deal gets resolved, this market will rally like no tomorrow. If you want to see an example of that, go back to look at the end of December when it looked like we're falling off the fiscal cliff. Resolution came, market rallied, and it was a huge rally. It went for over a month, maybe 2 months. I don't remember right now. Okay. The other thing that I was looking at for clues coming in the morning. So let me pull this up here real quick. All right. This is intraday chart, and so the first thing that I mentioned today was, just using basic trend lines, right? Here's the swing high, that was the low. We never penetrated above this. This is the first clue, right? It's the easiest way. What's the trend? Trade with the trend. Trade with pullbacks into the trend, right? Until the trend is broken. One very easy way of looking at the trade, right? If we look at the 24-hour trade, look at this. Okay, if you look at the 24-hour trade, right, we had a couple of different things going on here. Hold on one sec, because that doesn't look quite right. This is after hours. Okay, got it. We're trading after hours. Janet Yellen was, it looks like she's going to get the tip of the hat for the next Federal Reserve chairperson. So if we look, coming into this morning, this was our overnight action. And sometimes we look coming out of London, sometimes we look out of Asia. But if we look at the basic setup, right, this is our open here at 8:30. Okay, so we had this basic downtrend, and it had been broken right here, okay? We also had this basic uptrend. There's the 2 points that you can connect. And then we had this right here, which pretty much we were going across. And it pretty much formed a triangle right here. And you'll see that we bounced in between there, and this was all the white zone. And this was a pretty simple formula, folks. If we broke above here, we had a good chance of at least getting back up to this area right here, which was 1675. And if we broke below, then we had a lot of room below, down to 1655. I was specific, if you look at the pre-market video, very specific of what the targets were below that. And below there, 1649, 1650, and then below that, 1646. Okay, so let me just address what it takes to be a professional trader, because if you've been following me, you've noticed I probably struggled in the last couple of weeks kind of getting a handle on this thing. And I'll reiterate the key. First of all, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss. You got to control your stop losses or you're screwed in this business, okay? You will get just nailed over and over again. And in addition to an individual stop loss, you have to know reasonably how much of a stop loss you can take intraday. My personal measure is I do not like to lose in any one day more than I can make up the following day, which pretty much puts my limit at about 10 points. Is my maximum, preferably less than 5 points, okay? If I get stopped in the same, I trade multiple securities, so if in one security I get stopped 2 times back to back, And when I mean stop, taking a stop loss as opposed to a break-even stop, if I move the stop to break-even, I'm pretty much done for the day in that security, and sometimes in the entire day for the whole thing, right? Some days you're just off. Third issue, right? I don't jump from methodology to methodology, okay? I keep the exact same methodology day to day. I may adjust the strategy at which I use to extract money out of that methodology, but I stay consistent. And what kills traders is jumping from strategy to strategy, right? Not paying attention to your stop losses, okay? And lack of discipline. Those are the three things. And if you don't have those three things, the best thing you can do is admit it to yourself, okay? There's great traders out there that there's great material out there to learn to be a great trader. It's literally, in this day and age, it can be handed to you, it can be handed to you. But following someone else, even a great trader, following them without understanding their methodology will create a lack of trust between even yourself and your own actions and the person you're following, right? For example, today when I called out a short at 1687, right? Excuse me, 1657, I apologize. If you don't know me from a hole in the wall, if you haven't gone through some of the lesson plans that I do, perhaps if you haven't even gone through coaching with me, and it's going to be hard. You're going to be like, damn, I don't know. This guy gets it right sometimes and he gets it wrong sometimes, and I haven't seen his track record. I don't even know how he comes up with these damn zones, right? So you've got to learn. You've got to learn, whether it's me, E-mini player, FT71, Bama trader, wow, there's E-mini wizard. All these guys are great. But damn, it doesn't do you a bit of good to follow somebody if you don't understand their methodology, and importantly, if you don't follow yourself. Okay, meaning you don't follow your own rules, you don't follow your own stops, and you haven't taken time to scratch below the surface to understand what's going on. And even once you understand these guys, you've got to take the trade and make it your own. Okay, following someone blindly, okay, is just a long course to losing your ass. Okay, the short course is not knowing what you're doing at all and just blowing it up quickly. But every time a trade goes against you, every time something doesn't go perfectly right, you're going to go, I knew this didn't work from the minute one, and you're going to bail. So my recommendation to you, and I don't make a lot of recommendations, but this is a recommendation. Whatever you're trading, sit down and put the numbers to the paper. Does it actually make sense? Does it work in all markets or only certain markets? Which markets does it work in? Do your stops work for you? If so, do they let you stay in business over a prolonged period of difficulty? Like I had the last 3 weeks. I'm still updating my spreadsheet, but it wasn't a stellar week. I think I ended the first week down in a long, long time. In the prior 3 weeks, I was only able to scratch 23 points out of ES last month. Okay, just in the last 2 days, with just the last 2 trades that I called out, just the last 2 trades I called out, right? Yesterday afternoon I bagged 9 points. This afternoon I bagged 8 points. Okay, and there's plenty of trades in between on a day like today where you catch a trend day down, where you can make a lot of money. Okay, but you've got to know what you're doing. You got to have the plan to execute it. You got to have the strategy to execute it, and you got to have the willpower to stay focused and disciplined. So anyways, I hope I helped somebody out here. I love trading. I hope you love trading too. You can make a shitload of money, guys. There's all the money you've ever wanted in the world is sitting in the market. All you got to do is know how to extract it out of there and take it from someone else's market. That would be someone else's pocket. That would be all the inexperienced traders out there, and just simply move it into your pocket. And the way you do that is by having a trade plan that's executable, a proven edge, right, and a strategy that can adapt to market conditions. Anyways, my name is Simon. I'm with Trade and Perform Coaching. I love teaching people how to make money. I love making money. It's fun. I love trading. I love the market. Anyways, everyone have a great night. I'm probably still flying a little high from the day I had today, so I'm going to go and do a little meditating and get focused and centered so that I can have another great day tomorrow. Good night all. See y'all then.